start recording. So yeah, if you have a domination in one area of the chessboard, then you can really make, you can make good advantage. And if that happens to be especially along the king side, then you can practically sometimes win the game just because of your local force superiority, right? Now, today we are going to look at another dimension of chess, which is about time dimension, okay? So, and time dimension doesn't mean the clock time, like whether it is a bullet game or a 5 minutes, or even if you started with equal time, but one person has taken more time, one person has less time, and hence he is in trouble. No, that is not the time advantage that we are talking about. We are talking about time advantage in terms of the battlefield, right? So how quickly can you get your forces onto the battlefield, and then the battle will start. And obviously, if one person is able to bring his forces much quicker to the battlefield, then that battle is going to win it, right? Because he has got a domination there and he is much advanced. So if you see the parallels with military history, then the horse riders, right? When the horse riders came and the charioteers came, they were much faster than foot soldiers. So they could cover a lot of distance and they could reach places which otherwise would have taken time. So horsemen, when they came in, they started dominating the battlefields about 2000 years back or so, or maybe 3000 years back, I don't know. And then similarly, when again cavalry was replaced by artillery, so now mechanized artillery is there and they can reach tanks. If you see the tank warfare currently, then about 100 years back it was propounded by the German military. But the tanks can move much faster and reach places much faster in the modern warfare. So they can sometimes decide the battle, right? So we look at time dimension from that perspective. And so it is important. That's why time is synonymous in chess with development. Okay, so it is with development. So how quickly can you develop your pieces? So that is what is important. And some of the masters, past masters, Greco used to develop his pieces and attack really well. And his opponents in 500 years back were not really conversant, and he was much ahead of the times. Anderson was also like that. And Morphy, based on whose name actually we have got our academy named. So he was the supreme example of how to develop very, very quickly, very fast, and then use that to win the game. Right. So we'll look at some examples to understand this. So first example we'll look at is Morphy versus Meek. It is a game from 1857, New Orleans, and it is a stunning example of how good Morphy was. So let us go and see it. So let me see. Okay, here this is the Morphy and Meek. I've added it as a next game in the study, so you already have it. So I've shared the links also. So let us see. Morphy was white, e4, e6. Okay, fine. Black is playing French defense. d4, right? Obviously, given the chance, he will play d4. Black plays c5, and white takes advantage. It's actually not correct. d5 is the right move here, but we'll see later on. We are not reading here openings. So white advances further, and white gets a slight advantage now already. So black does not want to exchange and give a thing, so he advances further. But look at the next move. Superb development and opening up the F file, and the E pawn is weak. Actually, weak means it will have to be supported, but it is not in a position. Black is not yet in a position to counter attack white. So white already is one step ahead of black than the normal. So he has already won a tempo. Because if you see, E pawn first moved to E6 and then moved to E5. So it has made two moves just to reach E5. And just based on that, white is already one move ahead in this. Now see how deftly Morphy uses this. So black does not want to give up the central pawn. So he just defends.
Who's Morphy again?
Morphy is white. Paul Morphy. Okay. Knight F3. Development, clean development. Bishop G4. F takes E5. Now at this point of time, Yeah, so black decides to exchange the piece first because, but Morphy is not giving him any. Okay, so after this, d takes e5. So just if you look at it, 7 moves are passed. White is one tempo ahead, and white has got one protected passed pawn, which is the d pawn. It is considered very superior because there is no pawn which can stop it now. The d5 pawn, right? It will put enormous influence on the chessboard now. We will see. Obviously, it requires the player to also play, but let us see how Morphy plays this. Okay? So d takes e5, developing with a tempo. Bishop to b5, forcing black. He cannot play knight to c6. He obviously does not want to move the king. So knight to d7. Knight to d7. White, yet one more move. Knight c3. White is almost completing his development and ready to castle. And the rook will also not have to move. Actually, once white castles king side. Because the rook is already on an open file. The queen and the rook are already on an open file. f7 is under tremendous threat. So knight c3. Black plays knight f6. Okay, I think I should stop the evaluation so that it is not distracting. So knight to f6. White plays bishop to g5. Again, see superior development. And but remember that it is all these moves are not mechanical moves. Huh? See, this bishop to g5 is really good move because black will not be able to easily now throw it off. Okay, so black plays bishop to e7, and actually next move Morphy makes, and the other master simply resigns. White's move is d6. See whether you can figure out why he resigned. Why he resigned? Why black resigned at this? Anyone wants to take any? So obviously, so how Ansh is asking how they were so good. So that is the skill, right? See, we are ordinary people. We require a lot of help, but the geniuses had a lot of it in them. That's how they were there in some genius subjects. So they were already so good. They were so good. Yeah, some of Morphy's games, they cannot be bettered by engines even today. Okay, so that is the clean. Yeah, you have engine to study. You have a lot of help, but okay. So coming back to the game. Okay, coming back to the game. Why did Black resign? Because see, actually going back is not really an option because you would have already lost another 2 moves because Bishop would have gone from f8 to e7 and back, while White is going to jump the knight to d5. So Black has to take it practically, but after taking it, White simply castles, and the game is practically finished now at this because this piece is under threat. Bishop at d6. How will you save it?
E7.
Yeah, bishop to e7. Bishop to e7. Correct. Now, bishop takes f6.
Bishop takes f6.
Bishop takes f6. Now,
Rook takes d7.
Rook takes d7.
Wait, it's rook and bishop for queen? Rook, bishop, and pawn for queen?
Rook, bishop, and pawn. No, you have also lost a knight on d7. So if you think that you will be able to do this and you will do this, yeah, you will be forced to do this. Then this rook is just count. One rook versus one rook, one knight versus one bishop, queen versus rook. You have several things up. Plus the king is in the open. He's not safe. He's in the center of the board. White's pieces are developed. It's a finished game. Especially finished for Morphy. I mean, he will completely slaughter. So there is a white.
Queen to e7.
So
Instead of
yeah, let's go back and see. Here simply castle. So this is stunning development. Okay. not one move of white you can say as it has not contributed. In 12 moves, complete full development plus full tremendous attack, and it's a piece winning position. Okay. So okay, so you want to see any move for black? There is hardly, yeah.
Yeah. Queen to C7 or queen to E7.
Queen to E7. Yeah, you can try things like this. You can try things like this, but then I will jump like this.
Queen to E6.
Queen to E6 is knight to, wait, not so fast. Not so fast. But it is going to get over really fast. Yeah, let's do this. You have to take G takes.
And then you take the pawn.
You take the pawn
With
plus you
check.
take knight also. Not even that. Oh, wait.
And then you would take the knight.
Yeah, wait.
You would.
Now, at this point of time, I take this first. Now,
So,
Yeah, and then queen takes the
so,
knight. Then knight takes, yeah.
yeah, somebody was saying, yeah.
So in the previous move, why can't knight just play c7? Why can't knight go to c7 right now?
Where?
After the queen comes in the front.
Wait, first.
So the next move, after when the queen comes to e6.
Wait. Queen comes to E7 first, and then I said I will move this. Now, okay, you are saying why not knight C7? Because bishop takes C7.
Okay, sir.
Okay, but I think you saw it. There is hardly any defense. You can see this game is there in the study. You can copy it, or you can make a study copy, and you can go over it. But it is finished basically. Okay, so this is the power of development. And if you go back and see where black went wrong, first thing is that he made this E4, E4, E6 is fine. D4, C5 is wrong. D5 is correct. But after that, at least when we pushed it, he should have at least exchanged the pawns. Instead, now he pushed it forward. Now he has lost one move clearly. Already white gets an advantage. Now he gets one move free. So after this, it is, then he played this, and then knight F3. Now bishop G4 and exchanging it against the pawn. It is like lot more and more. So it is effectively black lost something like white became effectively ahead by 2 moves. And then you give such an advantage to Morphy, he will show you exactly how to use it. Okay, that's why we should study his games. Fine. Now there are some more in the handout I have explained. Danish Gambit is an excellent example. In fact, if you want to really study and understand how to play with time advantage, then actually you should go over some games of masters from Danish Gambit, because white sacrifices 2 pawns just to become ahead in development. Now after that, white better play and win, because otherwise if white does not finish off black, then because he's 2 pawns down the line, black can exchange everything and get into a 1 end game. So unless the game gets over in the middle game, okay, white has to win in the middle game, because in the end game it is clear that black is going to win it. Okay, but very interesting Danish Gambit games. You can go over it. There are a lot of YouTube videos also with interesting games from Danish Gambit. But it's a thorough, complete to the extreme strategy of playing for time advantage. Okay, there are other gambits where you sacrifice 1 pawn, but in Danish Gambit you sacrifice 2 pawns for 2 extra moves and 2 extra pieces that come to the board. So there is an example game also I have given. You can go through it. I am not going to go over it right now. So let me continue. Then there is King's Gambit. King's Gambit is the opening. I hope many of you would know already. But King's Gambit is the opening where white immediately after E4, E5, white challenges it with F4, and it's a sacrifice of a pawn, but a side pawn. And after black takes it, then white plays knight F3 to cover the queen H4 check. But after this, white's plan is to attack, and this is an example from a Muzio Gambit, where white sacrifices even a piece. So what happens is black plays this. I'm not going to go over, but I'm just telling you what is the development advantage. So here white is allowing the knight to be taken, but queen is coming up, and now why white is sacrificing so much is that he has got now a rook and a queen battery on an open f file. Open means this pawn is going to fall now, it's going to open. This pawn is going to d4, bishop is going to kill this pawn, and then f7, look at how much attack white is angling on f7. Okay. So doesn't mean that it's a one game, because there are clever ways of defending, but there are very difficult ways to defend. It's not easy to defend under tremendous attack. Okay. But if you see this Muzio gambit actually goes to the principle of the local force domination, because now white is concentrating all his forces on the king side after sacrificing. But to do that, he has sacrificed a piece, but now he's trying to win it just based on the local superiority. Okay. So this game is an example. You can go over it, the Chigorin versus Davido. I'm going to go over another game, which is by Fink versus Alekhine. Alekhine, if you remember, was the world champion number 5, right? It was
Alekhine
Steinitz was first, Steinitz, then Lasker,
Is it from
number 4, I think, Capablanca, and then Alekhine was number 4, world champion number 4.
Is
Okay.
this from is his name coming from the alkaline defense?
No, the Alekhine defense name comes from Alekhine.
Oh, so he made it.
Yeah, he made it, yeah. Okay, so let us see his game. He is black. Okay, he's black. So if you want to see it from the black's perspective, we'll see it here. So e4, e5, nf3, nc6, c3, Ponziani is opening. Black comes out with d5 given the chance.
So
White is,
you played a similar line.
sorry,
You played a similar line in the Ponziani against me.
who?
You played a similar line in the
Yeah, I think I
Ponziani
played
against
one.
me.
Yeah, similar. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So d5, knight f6. So see, white is grabbing the pawn that is on offer. It can be taken, not that, but you have to be very careful after this. So now, but black develops it and attacks the knight. So there is one more pawn on offer. So technically, actually, you can even grab the c6 pawn, but it will lead to some more loss of time. So white does not take it. Okay, white does not take it, because you know why? If he takes this and gives a check, actually he has taken one more pawn, but now the queen doesn't have a very good square. He will have to go here. Okay, and white would have wasted a lot of moves, and versus black has developed his pieces. So that's the idea of white, and black also knows it, so he doesn't take the pawn right away, but he wants to give back one pawn and develop with a tempo. So that is his idea. So white is also not like a ordinary. Yeah? White is also a grandmaster. So he's also not like a falto player. He's a good player. And he has given back the pawn because he knows that he's slightly behind in development. Okay, so he gave up the e pawn to the bishop so that he can play d4 with a tempo and then develop his other bishop. But still, the master has calculated more. So now he takes it, the pawn. So now the queen goes to a6. So black castles. See, now black is definitely ahead in development. If you just count, black has got 3 pieces out. One piece has
I
got
thought
exchanged
black's
off.
idea was to sacrifice pawns and then develop with tempo.
Yeah. But again, you have to know it is not easy. Ansh, if you remember our study game that we played, right? I also sacrificed a pawn. I got a very good attack, but I had to be careful. If I don't attack and I just leave you, then in one move you can defend yourself properly. So I don't have to give any chance.
It took like 5-10 minutes for each move.
Yeah, because I wanted to really make sure that because if I make small mistake and if you allow you to defend, then it's very difficult. Then I am simply one pawn down, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that happens. So So white continues. White wants to now see. White is also not a thing. White wants to now castle on the king side and put his king to safety. Okay, but it may not be. So first black pins the bishop. Now white is not able to castle. He is able to castle, but yeah, you just see what will happen. Okay, so he can't castle right now immediately. Okay, so he needs a reason for that. And
So,
yeah,
so why can't he castle?
I will show you. First, let me show the game and then we'll come back. Okay, we'll see. So black plays his other knight. He wants to get his other knight also developed and ready to come to f3. Okay, that's why the b1 knight is coming to d2 and then coming to f3, because you will know from our previous examples how much important that knight is for the defense of the castle, right? So okay, so black is grabbing the open file, plus there is a very important threat here. Now, because the bishop is threatening to come to b5, bishop is threatening to come to b5 and double attack the queen as well as the e7 bishop. Okay, so white does not want the bishop to come to b5, so he plays a4. But in spite of that, yeah, now queen comes to e7. Piling up on the e7 square, and this is a mistake. So at this point of time, black simply plays bishop to b5, and white resigned at this point of time. And we'll go back. See, it's not that there could have been better moves from
What
white.
if pawn takes b5?
Pawn takes b5.
What if there was pawn takes b5?
Queen to e7 checkmate.
Oh.
So the queen earlier was protecting it, and you wanted something to come
What
in
if
between.
queen
So that
takes bishop?
if queen takes
Oh,
bishop,
queen
then
can
rook will take it. So at this point of time, this was a very clever move. And now what will you do? You can't do anything. At this position, there is nothing to be done. Because now queen e7 mate is practically forced, or you are losing your queen. No, in fact, probably there is no other way to. Yeah, you can only sacrifice your queen to not get mated. Right?
Sir, can you turn on engine? What will it say?
Sorry? Yeah, let us go back and see. Let us go back and see. I think here at this point of time, you were asking, right, why you could not have taken it. So let us see whether you can, why you could not have castled, right? There is a question here, right? Why you could not have castled. Let me see. I will have to. What if white castles here, right? Your question somebody was asking is, what if white castles here? Let me
What
see.
happens if you castle? You don't lose any current.
Yeah, let us. Okay.
Is it because of Greek gift?
Hmm?
Is it because of Greek gift?
I will have to see. I have not think. Okay, let us just see what is the engine is saying. Engine is also not able to find a move. Huh? Okay, let us see what is things. Yeah, it is thinking. It is saying that black is actually winning. Huh? Why it is saying black is winning after this? And if we go castle, yeah, let us see what happens. Yeah, then it is thinking knight to g4, now threatening on threatening the h, this one. What if you simply play h3? If you play h3, then knight to h2. I think what it is, the black, what is going to happen is, if you want to just, I think that the whites, all pieces now are going to go over. So white will happy to sacrifice one more piece, maybe here or here. So bishop to h3 and open up the castle. Queen is going to come here, and then it is going to be attacking. That is what I can see. That is what I can see. But it will be interesting to see this. Okay, Indian also does think that it is black is definitely better, and at this point of time, it suggests that castling is not the right move. Relatively better is blocking it with bishop to e3. It's what it thinks, and but knight to d2. Then here it is thinking that you can castle, but we'll see. I think we'll see. There are sometimes the Indian takes some time uh, to see some tactic at the end. That's fine. I think, see, it is also not fair for us to imagine to evaluate all the master games from the past with the engine. So let us see. But it was an illustration of how once you give it some this one, then white was like, sorry, white got completely eliminated because the black's attack in development was so powerful. After this, it was completely finished. Okay, after this one. Before this, yes, there are ways of improving and playing, but after this, it became a very, very tough thing for white. In fact, it is already impossible. So now it is impossible. After queen e2, it is impossible, right? Because the piece is dropping now. So you cannot castle now. So, okay, fine. So I think that was another example. Now there is another beautiful example, which is Topalov and Ivanchuk, which is, I will very quickly see this, P6. It's not loading. Can you hear me? Okay, hopefully this is better. All right, let's go back. We are continuing to record. Yep, recording is happening. So where we were, Topalov, Ivanchuk. Okay, Topalov is taking some time to load. The other interesting game is the Opera game. I think you have seen this, Morphy versus Consultants. I'd shown it to you in one of the previous classes. I don't know whether it was L2, but it's a I'm going to stop my video. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
All right. So let's go back and see the screen. I hope you can see the screen, right?
No, sir.
Okay.
So you're frozen and we can't see the screen.
Can't see the screen. Okay.
No,
And so you're frozen. Your video is completely frozen.
No, frozen. I have
we
stopped
can't
my
see
video.
anything.
Yeah, I have stopped my video And is the share not happening? Screen share, you are not able to, it is saying screen share. So you are not able to.
See your face.
It says your video is on in participants.
Okay, let us very quickly see this game. Opera game already you are familiar with. It is the Morphe versus Consultants.
Sir, we can't see your,
You can't see the
we
screen.
can't see your screen. No,
Really sad. Really sad.
I can't.
Okay, looks like I think it is. I am having a network issue. If you cannot see it, then I will. What I will do is maybe I will continue this lecture for another 15-20 minutes are left actually to cover. I will do this now tomorrow night. Whoever can join tomorrow night, same time I will cover it, because now I think it is.
But sir hasn't connected to audio.
Yeah, I'm connected to audio. You can. I hope you can hear me. But anyway, the thing. Let me stop the